Hello and welcome to Rev Sports. In the five-match test series between India and England, we saw India being defeated by 28 runs in the first match, and now the teams have moved to Vizag for the second game. There are several twists in the series already, with KL Rahul and Ravindra Jadeja being ruled out for the upcoming game. I'm Gargi Raut, and joining me today are Athreya Mukhopadhyay and Debashish Sen from Vizag, and they've just watched India and England's practice session, so they have a lot of updates to give us as well. Also joining us is Shomik and Shubhayan Chakraborty. Over to you, Debashish. First, give us all the tea. What are the updates from the practice sessions?
Yeah, obviously it was a rigorous practice session for the Indian team with everyone turning up. Obviously, the focus was as always was on the wicket. Right at the start, we saw several members of the Indian team. We were looking at having a look at the wicket. There was Rahul Dravid, there was Rohit Sharma, there was Ravichandran Ashwin. In fact, both the BCCI curators, the Taposh Chatterjee and also Ashish Bhomik, they were both there and they were having a long discussions. Obviously, there were a bit of watering on the wicket. Then the wicket was covered when England were training. And soon after the England team departed, the covers were again opened up as the Indians came arrived for the training. So then there was a small huddle, and the Indian team had a long look at the wicket, and with Rohit Sharma having a word with both the BCCI curators. So obviously, as always, the focus is again, the talking point is again on the wicket. Whether it's definitely going to turn, but whether it's going to be turning quickly, which was not the case in Hyderabad. It's going to be definitely it's going to turn, but it's going to turn, there will be a bit of bounce as well. I'm assuming. So there was a bit of watering as well. There was some instructions which I saw, and soon after the groundsman was saying watering the wicket. Um, so that's it as far as the wicket is concerned. As far as the practice session is concerned, obviously, who is going to replace KL Rahul? That's the biggest consensus. Whether it's going to be Sarfaraz Khan or whether it's going to be Rajat Patidar. Obviously, both of them had a extended session, but towards the end, I would say, obviously, Rohit Sharma, Yashasvi Jaiswal, Shubman Gill did start they were the first to go into the nets to bat, along with Kuldeep Yadav, assuming that in all probability, Kuldeep Yadav is going to replace Ravindra Jadeja. But as far as who's going to replace KL Rahul, it's going to be a toss between Sarfaraz Khan and Rajat Patidar. Obviously, they both had the T. Dilip, the fielding coach, was saying having an extended session with both of them. They were saying having short catching practice, forward short legs, silly mid off, leg sleep, and it went on for a good 20-25 minutes. Even both of them also practiced slip catching as well, along with Shubman Gill and with Yashasvi Jaiswal and Shreyas Iyer fielding at the gully. So, when it came to batting, Sarfaraz was all guns blazing. He was confident personified. Obviously, he has the confidence behind him, scoring that brilliant 160 against England Lions. Rajat Patida too looked good in the nets. And Rohit Sharma was still having a word with Sarfaraz. Obviously, being a Mumbaiker himself, so as an elder brother, he was still having a long word with him, giving some suggestions, and that was good on the part of the Indian captain to be as an elder brother. So that's it from the Indian camp. Means it's still, we'll get to know. We'll have a fair idea maybe tomorrow. But you see, predicting the 11, it's obviously it does. You can go wrong. But I am assuming that Kuldeep Yadav will definitely be in for Ravindra Jadeja and one among Sarfaraz or Rajat Patida. Gargi.
Yes, and Atra, you're in Vizag as well. And, summing up whatever Debashi said, what do you make of the pitch right now? And tell us about the conditions over there as well. Is it hot? Like, what's the weather like, and how can it affect, the match?
It's warmer than Hyderabad, I would say. And being just right next to the sea, it's more humid as well. So if you want, you can have a very bad kind of a turner over here. Whether they will go for that, I'm not sure. But see, we have spoken about this a lot of times. the pitch is going to be the same for two teams. Now it's about how you play. It's not about the pitch alone. I mean, yes, the pitch will might play a part. I mean, the kind of spin, kind of non-spin, those things are going to play a part. But it's about how you play. So I think let us not focus too much about the nature of the pitch. Yes, if you ask me the question whether it will be a turning pitch or not, I will say that my answer would be that yes, it can be a rank turner because I mean the conditions are suitable for making a rank turner. Whether we'll make one or not, we don't know yet. My hunch is they will not. So that's just a hunch. So I think let's be prepared for a good match. And for from the Indian team's point of view, it's not about the pitch; it's about how you play. See, it has to be played from here, from the heart, not from the pitch. So as long as India does that well, they will stand a good chance of winning this.
And Shubhayan, you don't read too much into one loss in a five-match test series, but the pressure is definitely on Rohit Sharma right now. And the pressure has been added by the fact that KL Rahul and Ravindra Jadeja are not in the team. Jadeja is a lethal weapon for the Indian bowling attack. Akshar Patel, when you look at him, is a decent bowler, but it seems like England are negating Akshar Patel well. How do you proceed from here on? Looking at the pitch in Vizag as well, what are your thoughts about that?
Vikram Rathod clearly said in the press conference today that the pitch will turn, but not from day one. So I'm assuming that even if it breaks down, it will break down from the second day or the third day. Of course, there will be turn. There's turn everywhere you go in India, in any pitches you play. But as Athru rightly said, it has to be play with heart. You have to be brave. You have to be fearless about the shots you want to play out there. And clearly, you will have to have a plan A and plan B. If plan A doesn't work, if they have an answer to your plan A, then make sure that you have a plan B for each of the bowlers, each of the batters, whether you're fielding or batting. Number two, I think, talking about rank turners, as Devashish also said, it will this pitch where India lost the match in Hyderabad because it was a slow turner. Ollie Pope was getting enough time to play his sweeps and reverse sweep. The ball was not bouncing that much. But in Vizag, if it is a quick turner, if it turns with bounce and pace, then there's trouble for both sets of batsmen. I'm not saying that Indians are extremely good players of spin right now, but yes, it will be troublesome for both set of batters, and that is where Indians will have an advantage because of the better spinners, highly experienced spinners. Coming to Akshar Patel, uh, Akshar Patel was extremely successful last time around because they were rank turners. His undercutters were coming into play. He was constantly bowling the undercutters, and one odd delivery which was turning was getting him the wicket, or even five balls were turning, and the one which did not turn got him the wicket. So that is where Akshar Patel was extremely lethal right, in the past series. And as the series progresses, as we move to Ranchi, as we move to Vizag for the second test also, you will see Akshar Patel become more handy and handy because I think they will not have a slow turner anymore in the series. They will have fast turners, which will help Akshar Patel a lot more.
Athro, did you want to add something?
Yeah. See, last time against England, Akshar Patel was so successful because the English batters played him for turn and then saw there is no
Right.
turn.
Right.
If you go back to the highlights of the series, I remember vividly most of the wickets he got were of deliveries which turned minimally. There was
Right.
some, I mean, we are talking about 3.8 degree, 4.8 degree, 6 degree, whatever. I think there was 1 degree of turn in the deliveries he got wickets off in that series. So Englishmen thought, "Arey boss, there is huge spinner, there is huge turn on the ball. Who is this?" Then they saw the ball is not turning and they got out. So degree of turn, pitch, and all these things are fine, but ultimately it has to be played. You have to go out there and display what you have. So go out there and do it. Don't bother too much about the pitch and all that.
Shomik, Akshar Patel and Ashwin will most probably lead the Indian spin attack, considering, the black soil turner in Vizag. We're yet to know how much it turns right now, but what stops India from playing two more spinners?
I think India will play three spinners in any case. Kuldeep will come in, and I think India will play four spinners because my hunch is the 11 will be Washington Sundar will be in the 11. He will replace Jadeja, and Kuldeep will replace Siraj, while Rajat Patidar will replace KL Rahul. That is you can call it Tripuda's hunch. That would be the team. India will play three practice players, and of course, and playing Washington Sundar will have an advantage because he can operate with the new ball also. Like Ashwin can operate with the new ball. Washington Sundar can operate with the new ball, and this lad is very good under pressure. We have seen that in Gabba, and we have seen that in Ahmedabad years ago when England came and he stitched a partnership with Rishabh Pant. This guy rebels under pressure. So he brings some balance to the side. So that could be the changes. I guess India definitely will play three spinners. As far as which is concerned, I don't know whether in I don't. I mean, I think India are now in a catch-22 situation. They tried a slow turner in Hyderabad. That didn't work. Ollie Pope dismantled the Indian spinners, and now if they go back to raging turners, then that becomes a lottery pitch and a lottery contest, and that reduces the gap between the bowling units also. So I think India are caught in a catch-22 situation, and this Indian team are good at putting a defeat out of their system and come back. We saw that last month only in South Africa. They set aside the defeat at Centurion and bounced back in Newlands. But this England team are a different kettle of fish, and they have smelled blood. I don't think they will take their foot off the pedal.
Yes, Atreo.
See, India lost the first Test match in Hyderabad, and what in the end looked like an by a convincing margin, 28 runs. Although it's not a big margin, in the end it looked like as if yeah, it was a big margin. But what was the hallmark of that match? India dominated 75% of that match. They lost because the 25% which they could not dominate when they were dominated. So that is a huge, huge plus for the Indian team to take forward to not just this test but the rest of the series. They were the dominant side. I mean, there is no doubt about that. 75% of that match was completely India's match. So that is what they have to take forward into this game. Yes, we can do it. I mean, if we stick to our principles, if we stick to our philosophy, if we stick to our what we think is right, then we are on top. Yes, you lost because 25% of it went against you. So India should stick to their thoughts and principles. Yes, they are without two of their key players, but the philosophy, the thought process should not change, and they should stick to what they have been doing. If they do that, they will win this match.
Devashish, your thoughts on Washington Sundar coming into the squad and Siraj making his way for Kuldeep Yadav. Do you think that's a possibility?
Yeah, obviously, Sumit makes a very, very good point. Siraj looked lackluster in the last game, obviously the first test match. But today we saw Mukesh Kumar having a long go at the nets, and Paras Mamre and Rohit Sharma were seen having a chat with him. So don't rule out Mukesh Kumar as well. But then obviously uh, committing on the 11, I think it's you might look a bit foolish. But then, having said that, one thing that was noticeable today was the entire team rallying behind Shubman Gill and Shreyas Iyer, particularly Shubman. Shubman had the longest session in the nets. Means he had, if I remember, obviously he went into bat thrice, if not once, twice, thrice, and he had an extended session in the means, and there was Rahul Dravid having a chat with him. There was Vikram Rathod chatting up with him. He was seeing reverse sweeping the ball spinners. He was seeing sweeping the shots. So and he looked a lot more confident. Means obviously his statistics does not say so. At least that willingness to prove a point to prove everyone wrong, because lot has been said about him. There has been criticism about his form in the longer format, averaging only 17 in the longer format. But given the Indian team management, the way that entire Indian team has rallied behind Shubman Gill at least in the practice session. That goes to show that in all probability, Shubman Gill will definitely be playing, and as well as Shreyas Iyer. Obviously, and that's the biggest positive. Obviously, it's a means obviously he's a too good a batter. Maybe what the team management, even Vikram Rathod was also asked about Shreyas and Shubman's form, and what he said was that you need to back them. You need to back them, obviously, and who knows? Maybe he is just one knock away from getting back his form. Gargi.
And Shubhayan, on the contrary of having four spinners in the Indian team, like a lot of people have suggested, the Vizag pitch might have a scope for reverse swing as well. And is it a good idea to limit yourself to one pacer when you have that chance?
See, my only complaint with Washington Sundar is that he does not have a lot of red ball matches under his belt. He did not play a single Ranji Trophy match for Tamil Nadu this season. He has not played. He played one India E game against England Lions where he scored a half century and picked up 2 wickets combined in both the innings. 2 wickets in the first innings and zero in the second innings. And if you look at the first test also in Hyderabad, Akshar Patel bowled 13 overs in the first innings and some 19 or 20 overs in the second inning. So you are not even utilizing your third spinner properly. You are not giving him as if he's not bowling 25, 30 overs a day. He is not. So your fourth spinner will also not have a huge role to play in terms of picking wickets or restricting your opponents. Your three spinners can bowl you the entire day if they want along with the Jasprit Bumrah. So that's my only point. If you have three spinners and a Jasprit Bumrah, then I think they are good enough to pick up all the 20 wickets. If there's a bit of assistance for the spinners, they are good enough. You don't need a fourth spinner. What you can do is add an extra batter there. Add an extra
Hmm.
batter. If need be, bowl Yashasvi Jaiswal. If need be, bowl others in that batting unit. If you need a support, if you need a fourth spinner or a couple of overs to give rest to your bowlers. But otherwise, I think for three spinners, one pacers, and two extra batters, if you can add an extra batter, Rajat will play one match. If you can add a Sarfaraz as a cushion also, Sarfaraz can bowl also. He can bowl you off spin and leg spin, both of them. So if you want, then you will have that option as well. You can bowl Yashasvi Jaiswal. You can use a Sarfaraz Khan, Rajat Patidar. I don't think he bowls. So you will have a multi-dimension option, and don't rule out Saurabh Kumar as well. Saurabh Kumar, okay, I can understand people are pushing for Kuldeep Yadav. He's higher in the pecking order. But Saurabh Kumar, whatever he has played for UP, he has done extremely well. He's a very decent batter. He's more than a decent batter. Whenever he has played for India, he has delivered. He has picked up wickets. He has scored runs down the order as well. So he's a handy utility player if you want. So there are options in Washington Sundar and Saurabh Kumar, but my personal preference would be to add an extra batter there and make sure your bowling lineup is stacked properly given the conditions. I have not seen the pitch, so I won't be able to comment. But if Devashish is saying that Mukesh had a long chat, there will be a bit of assistance initially for the Pacers. Then why not? Why not give him the chance? If you want extra pace, then Avish Khan is also an option. So there are options for the Indian team if you want to use them.
Matthew, going back to the point that Debashish made, there are also quite a lot of people on social media who are saying that Sarfaraz Khan and Rajat Patidar should, replace Shubman Gill and Shreyas. What are your thoughts about it? Is it time for them to, sit them on the bench, or no? Should you stick with your batters? Atreo.
Oh,
Uh,
sorry.
yeah.
See, I do not think you can bench both of them. I mean, we are not in a position to bench both Gill and Iyer at the moment because we don't have enough reserve batsmen coming up at the moment. So, no. But I do agree with what Shubhain and Shomit were saying that if Washington plays, he plays more as a additional batsman, not as a fourth spinner. As a left-handed batter, he brings you that kind of a difference into the picture. So, yes, you don't need that fourth spinner, not at all. And but Gargi, coming back to your question, I do not think India are in a position to bench both Gill and Iyer at the moment. No, especially because when Rahul is not there, obviously Virat was not there. Since had Rahul been here, then it might have been a different question. But you don't have. I mean, if you bench both, then you need three other batsmen, right? Do you have three other batsmen?
A
I
counter
mean, have,
question
yeah,
to those who are a counter question to those who are saying this. Will you give two debuts in a match where you are desperate to win?
And
I
then
don't
there's
think. I don't
chatter
think.
on social media that too many debut caps are being given out. So,
Yeah.
No, no, I don't think there'll be knee-jerk reactions because there are too many experienced heads, too many experienced heads in this Indian dressing room who know what is. In fact, Dravid and Mamre, batting coach and chief coach, they made their debut in the same match, same test with Saurav Ganguly. So they know what a debut cap means. And I do not see debuts being handed to two newcomers and benching both. No, no, no.
and Shomik, final question to you. Sarfaraz has piled up huge runs in the last three Ranji seasons, and he is one of those batters, who is not afraid to bat out of the box. And he's especially good against spinners as well. Is Sarfaraz Khan's batting exactly what India need against baseball?
No, see, the fact of the matter is that Test cricket is a different level. We have seen so many domestic cricket who fail to make it at the highest level, and it has happened in the past. It will happen in the future also. So you shouldn't judge. You shouldn't judge a batsman via the prism of what he has done in domestic cricket. It's a Test cricket requires different temperament. We don't know yet until and unless he's playing that level. We don't know yet whether Sarfraz has that temperament. What we know that he is a bit vulnerable against the short pitch stuff that we have seen in white ball cricket against Mahmood. But this pitch, I mean, the bounce will be not that steep, so that is out of the equation. But still, my feeling is Sarfraz is there mostly as a cover. Rajat Patidar will be Rahul's replacement, and, but then again, it's not about Sarfraz only; it's about the entire batting unit. See, not having Rishabh Pant is bad. Not having Rishabh Pant and Virat Kohli both is even worse. And do you have any batsman in this lineup who can bat big? India scored 400 odd in the first innings in Hyderabad. Still, they missed out on 70, 80 runs. That was there for the taking. And eventually, it turned out to
And
be the
Jadeja was
difference.
high scorer.
And do you think? I mean, do we have any batsman in this lineup who can score daddy hundreds? Rohit Sharma, Jeffrey Boycott rightly pointed out, he scores eye-catching cameos, but he is not scoring big runs. Just two centuries over the last 4 years at home. So we have players who can score 70s, 80s, but do we have players who can score daddy hundreds? So it's not solely about Sarfraz or Rajat Patidar. It's about the batting unit as a whole, and they will have to bat big. At least one or two of them will have to score a daddy hundred.
Yes, so I think that sums it up. We're all very, very excited to see what combination the Indian team comes up with for the second test match. But thank you everyone for joining. Devashish and Atreya for standing in that heat. And we'll see you later. And to everyone who's watching, stay tuned to Ref Sports.